There are, by some estimates, fewer than 50 living prodigious savants in the world today. Kim Peek is perhaps the most prodigious of them all. His brain, a mystery to medical science, has been studied by NASA. He will tell you that he has memorized 9,000 books, read at the rate of 8 to 10 seconds per page, one eye reading one page, the other eye reading the other. He is here tonight with his father, Fran Peek, who will introduce him. Please join me in welcoming our meeting's first presenters, Kim and Fran Peek.
Much I've come to know people through these years, and that most people didn't even know that I had a great memory, and there's some other people like me.
What he's talking about is Dr. Dan Christensen's wife's name, Jan. And we go out with Dr. Christensen for various prescription makers and stuff like Lilly and Pfizer and those places. And he makes a 30-minute presentation of Kim on slides comparing his mind and brain with Albert Einstein and Joseph Stalin and two other savants that were in the 1800s in Europe, one who used to build ships out of little pieces of sticks, and another one who, he kind of designed mathematical formulas that never had any answers to them, but they were just unbelievable if you knew what they meant. And he was the only one who seemed to know what they meant. But after Dan Christensen shows this slide presentation, talks about Kim's brain, then he says, anybody with a brain built like this would probably not survive infancy, but I've got a real surprise for you. He's in the room right behind me. He's going to come out and interact with you. So he comes out and he says, where have you lived? Where have you lived, sir?
Princeton.
Princeton?
I told you about that it used to be 609, not 732.
What highways go to Princeton?
That's 206, and it's 206, and it's 206, and it's number 7 of the, and it's 95 number 7, isn't it? Isn't it? It's I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I've never looked before.
Okay, off that particular expressway, there was
Howard Johnson.
Howard Johnson had a Clover presentation in 1973 when he drove from Boston down to Washington. What TV stations can he see?
The 23 and 52 plus. You can get some New York, but mainly Philadelphia.
And when did his state become a state?
1787 was the third to ratify.
Okay, fine, thank you. Kim was born with a head about 30% larger than normal. We didn't know exactly what was wrong with him. At 9 months, a neuropsychiatrist examined him and said he's severely mentally retarded.
Sorry, I missed your golf game. Put him in American Ford.
Yeah. He says he'll never be able to learn, he'll never be able to walk. You should put him in an institution, which was American Fork in Utah, and forget about him. But we couldn't do that. He seemed to need more attention and more love than a normal child, and we decided to try to do that. He must have had something there. And then at age 6, he was we had Dr. Peter Lindstrom, who was married to Ingrid Bergman.
When I saw that Beethoven selection is that during the introductions here,
Why Beethoven was it?
it was that Bagatelle number opus 33, number 5. I said
When did he write it?
Was in about 1880, 1801. But when I said that was the reason why I said that was you can't say mention Beethoven in a church or in elementary.
Not to you, they can't get that.
In elementary.
Because at the time they wanted to give him a lobotomy at age 6, Peter Lindstrom, who was married to Ingrid Bergman, was at the surgeon from California who recommended the lobotomy. And at the same time, his wife, Ingrid, gave birth to Isabel Rossellini. And Kim says when anybody asks him a question about Beethoven, he says, you can't call Isabel a bad name because she didn't ask to be born and she's a wonderful lady. And you can't call her mom that bad name either because she was making movies. Probably didn't know what was going on all the time. He says, but the one that you give the name of the first book of the John Jakes Bicentennial series, you give that to Peter Lindstrom. And I can't say it in a church or an elementary